Hey people, it's Mr. Good here. This is a little breakdown video of how to do SQL injection exploits, and sometimes it's called SQL. Basically, on a server, usually when you go to a web page like Amazon or something, it's not like they have all the prices and the products and stuff like that actually on the web page. The web page has to go get the prices from a database and bring it back to the web page and then send it back to you. So how it does that is with SQL, which is Structured Query Language. Basically, it's a programming language for databases. And it can put things into tables. So for like bikes, boards, and beyonds, they'd have like an order number or product number, the name of the product, the type of the product, and the unit price. So each one of these is an item, right? Horizontally, and vertically it's kind of what the different aspects of them. So when you use SQL, you can insert items in, like you can put in a new item, sleek and steady paddle, put a price on it, and then you could read from one by putting select. So like insert puts a new value in. You can select the name and price from products, and you can just grab certain things. So you can see where you can update things. You can change the price, right, to 1,000 if it was 301. So if you saw price here, those are for item number 301. You can make it $1,000 to give it like a sale item. You can see where someone, if they went in there, they could mess with some stuff. If you were able to type in database code, you could update the product price to 0 or make it a penny and then just buy it. So some websites, and this is all about websites, some websites are vulnerable to an SQL injection. So if a website is connected to a database, a hacker will try to see if an SQL injection is possible. So we're going to go to our fake site here under connections. We're going to connect to this website for Bank of Virgil. Admin, password. Awesome, right? And the first thing it says to do is set your security to low, because I think it starts off on medium. So we're going to set site security to low. Maybe it's high. And then we're going to go to an SQL injection over here. We're going to try it out. So first of all, an SQL injection is just a way to, instead of here typing in your user ID, if you type in a command, you can get an item out of their database. So if I type in a 1, basically it brings your first item out of the database, which has the admin's name, a phone number, an address, all stuff you don't want someone to have access to. If we typed in 2, we can get someone else, right? So all this is doing is it's grabbing an ID number. Look at that, hack me. Funny stuff. Picasso. All right, anyway, you could go through their whole thing and look at their names and stuff. So you could grab it. It looks like it's grabbing first name, last name, phone number, address from users, where the user ID is whatever you type in. Okay, so whatever we type in, this is the code in the background you don't see. Whatever we type in goes for user ID. So now it's saying in the ID text box, and if you didn't turn this to low security, this wouldn't work, because there's an easy way to fix this. So if you type this code in, basically it searches for item 1 or 1 equals 1, which is all of them. That's like any true statement. So basically, if you look at this, I can see everyone in the database, right? That's a lot of stuff. I almost got through them all. Bob Smith, admin, Gordon Brown, hack me, right? So you can get into a lot of them. there's other stuff you can type in too. So as soon as I typed in a 1 and it spit out this stuff, I knew it was SQL injection vulnerable. So what you can start to do after that is, if you know a little SQL code, you can basically find out all sorts of stuff about their web page. So if this one right here, you may not know what it means, but it means grab the table schema, the table name, the table type, and the version from information on person 1. So you're going to basically figure out what all, basically this is going to figure out what all data they have. So I'm going to pause while I type that in, okay, so it doesn't waste all this time. Alright, so I typed in all this stuff, and it says the spacing doesn't matter, but what it's going to do is it's going to get the user ID number 1, and then it's going to run the rest of the stuff instead of first name, last name, phone, and address. So when I run this, oh, did I type it in wrong? Hold on. Okay, I had a typo there. So now, instead of just printing out their name and address, the first one did, because that was from the first one thing. But then it started grabbing all sorts of stuff. Instead of first name, it's putting the table schema. Instead of the surname, the last name, it's putting your table name. And then it talks about the type and then the version. So you can find out that their information schema runs on character sets in System View version 10. So you can find out a whole lot of stuff about their engines and their events and their files. And so all sorts of info I shouldn't have access to, but I do. All right, and then let's try another one. So that was this one. Another thing we can do is we can grab information they don't even want to give us. Like if I know they have, if I'm guessing they have first name, last name, and a password, I can try to grab that for everyone. So I'll type that in. Hopefully I'll type it in well. Okay, so I typed this in, hopefully well this time, and we should be able to grab first name, last name, user, and password. So where it used to say address and phone number, we're going to put in the username and their password. So let's see if we did this. You click it. Gosh darn it, I typed it wrong again. Apparently I misspelled users there. There we go. So the first one's just as it was. You can see first name, last name, address. Now on the second one, you see first name, last name, username, password. First name, last name, username, password, right? That's pretty useful information. Also shouldn't have access to. So then the rest of this is, how can you, if I run that same thing, but I go back and turn my site security to high, see what happens. So I'm going to type in an easy one, right? I don't want to type in the really long one. So there's an easy one, right? So this should give me everybody, but nothing happens because I turned the security to high and now it shut that down. So the last part is, how can you tell what it looks like? What part of this code did they change to make it high security? And if you click View Source down here, you can see, let me make this bigger. Just make it real big. This is the code for high security. I want to compare that to high and low. So here's low. So you're going to have to go back and forth and compare this stuff. Why am I able to hack in here and not in here? What's the difference? And if you look at the first few lines, it looks like there's something different early on. Under retrieve data, this just has ID, get ID, right, from the web page, wherever you type it in. This one has get ID, strip the slashes out, use real escape strings. So they basically have ways to stop people from typing in commands that are SQL just because it has access to the database. And you can look, I think there's not much else different. The bottom stuff and the echoes and the first names those all kind of look the same. Okay. Anyway, you'd want to take a snip at what protecting looks like. This right here is the protection against being SQL hacked. So yeah, basically it's that stuff there, the real escape strings and strip slashes. This kind of goes into it. So hopefully that helps. You can see how powerful it is and how you could go into a website if they left this vulnerability open on low security. Then you can really do some damage. You can get passwords. You could change their, you could change stuff. You could do user ID 1. I'm going to, what was the term up earlier? Oh, update. You can update an entry. So you can say wherever the old number was, I'm going to change it. Or whatever their old password was, I'm going to change it to an easy password. Anyway, so hopefully that helps. That's called SQL injection, and it is a way hackers can get into databases if you don't put those 2 simple lines of code in there to protect you. Anyway, hope that helps. Talk to you later.